How y'all doing? Trying to wait for some people to join. I know I'm a little bit late, so I apologize for that. I was trying to get everything in order. See if I can see what's going on with the lives. See if I can join and hear and listen. Because when I can see who's there, I can kind of, come in and talk. So I don't know if you guys can see it while I'm waiting for, some people to join. I just, showing a little bit of my books that are out there. And also, I know I'm gonna have some haters about my Florida State shirt. You Gators, I'm gonna need you to chomp somewhere else because here is not where you want to do it. Okay. So, I wanted to kind of jump on today and talk a little bit about being in a box. The last time we talked about the looking in the mirror and just being able to take a look at yourself and moving forward. But this time I kind of want to talk about that box and how we can get out of the box. For so many years, I lived in a box. And a lot of times I realize when you say that, people may not understand what that means when you say in a box. Let's try a different way. Let's look at the word paradigm. Paradigm is my actual slogan, part of my slogan in my tax business, where paradigms shift. A paradigm or a box is a model or a way you are used to doing things. So what I'm trying to do is get you out of the box. This is the box. This is you. I'm trying to get you out of doing things the way you're accustomed to doing them, because for some reason they may not have worked. Sometimes those boxes don't work because the walls on this box could be something like it's not right and right, but that wall is insecurity. This wall could be comparison. This wall is just straight out fear. This wall could be self-hatred, self-loathing. But either way, you are trapped by the beliefs that you have placed upon yourself. You are trapped by the way you have seen yourself and your world for so long. So what I'm trying to say to you is that if you change the way you see your world, if you can change the way you see your wall, you will change the way you see yourself. A lot of times we don't see ourselves the way other people see us. I know for a long time I didn't. I couldn't see myself as a lot of positive things that people were saying about me. And I guess in a sense, I still have that issue. But I will also say that part of that was because when you're in the church, you're told, humble yourself. You shouldn't think more highly of yourself than you ought, and those things are contextually applicable to where you are in your life. So that may not necessarily be something that you need to apply to every situation. So I'm not, let's get it clear, saying that the Bible is wrong. That's not what I'm saying. If you heard that, you misheard me, okay? But what I'm saying is that doesn't apply to how you see yourself. So yes, you stay humble. You stay, wanting to do things for others. You don't look at yourself as better than the next person because you've achieved certain successes or you were brought up a different way. No, that's not how you should do things. But to say that you're less than somebody because you weren't brought up the way they were brought up, or because you don't have the same successes, maybe you didn't have the same opportunities. So I don't want you to limit yourself by where you are today, because believe it or not, where you are today is here. It's in your mind. If you can tell yourself, I am not where I see physically, and then mentally see yourself somewhere else, you can achieve so much more. Because that's what we're talking about, getting you to see these walls as something different. You know, so instead of us saying that we're going to see this wall as insecurity, okay, maybe we need to see this wall, hopefully you guys can see this, as confidence. So I'm going to change that insecurity with confidence. I'm putting up this new wall. And I'm not sure how many of you are aware of this, but I had attempted suicide. And when I did that, I lost a whole lot of weight because they had to pump your stomach, you know, and so I was like really, really thin. And so I know, based on where I grew up in the South, in the hood, so to speak, skinny was not in. You needed to have that big butt, those hips, those thighs, you know what I mean, in order to be considered sexy or attractive or for anybody to desire you. But then, you know, I know Plies did a video recently, and he was like, well, you going and you trying to get all of this plastic surgery done, but you don't realize you're attracting flies. I'm paraphrasing. He didn't word it like that. But I'm just saying, you know, I didn't realize that I was attracting a different demographic by wanting to stay thick. You know what I mean? So I had to change that insecurity, you know, with confidence. And it sometimes can be hard. And I'll never forget one time when I first moved back to my hometown after the suicide attempt, and I was really small. When I tell you guys I was small, I was small. And when I say small, I mean thin, like thin. And this one guy, and I think I said this in one of my videos before, he was like, damn, Jackie, you look like Skeletor, and started laughing. He thought that was funny. But of course, that was another thing that chipped at that insecurity that kept me behind that wall and in that box, because I didn't have the confidence to stand up and say, you know, something back to him that would have made him think about those words that he said. You know what I mean? And sometimes people don't think about that. They just say the first thing that comes to their mind, and that's not necessarily always good, because you don't know what somebody else may be dealing with. You don't know what that insecurity is that you help to build that wall a little bit higher and to take their confidence level down. Now, granted, it's not your job. It's not your responsibility to make sure I'm confident, to make sure I feel good. But I'm just saying, think about what you say before you say it, because you don't know where somebody else may be in their life. So let's replace these walls. And so, like I said, for that insecurity, you may replace it with confidence. Comparison, you may, you know, replace it with, again, confidence. It seems like a lot of these can be replaced with confidence. I can't say for sure, you know, what you can replace a wall with, but I'm saying it should be replaced. And for some people, that help may come in the form of mental health counseling. It may come in the form of a life coach, or somebody just objective that is not part of your situation, that is not a part of that whole thing that may be going on, or whatever happened to you in your past, that can give you an unbiased point of view of where you are and what is going on. So a lot of times I think we take for granted that people may be there to help, you know, and then if that person isn't there to help, or a person, there are tools that you can use to be able to pull you out. And sometimes you may even feel trapped in this box by your own strengths and weaknesses. And I say that because that's one of the points that I bring up in my book. My strength, I always say, is loyalty. I am loyal to a fault. You hear me? Like, I'm the ride or die. I got you. They did what? They said what? You know, in my way. But that's how I am. But just as much as loyalty is my strength, loyalty is my weakness. So you say, how can your weakness and your strength be the same thing? Well, because I'm loyal to a fault. So I know that I may not need to attend that event, or I know I don't have the means to do whatever it is that I'm doing. But because I want you to know I have you, I want you to know that I support you, I have your back. Because I want you to know that I'm that loyal, that loyalty, can bring on some issues. So a lot of times it's all about knowing ourselves and not placing the limits on ourselves that society has placed on us. Not placing the limits on ourselves that our culture has placed on us. Because just because I'm black doesn't mean I have to be thick. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to get past all of these things that we keep trying to tell ourselves because that's what somebody else said. I don't have to be who you want me to be. Like when I was younger, I was nerdy. I was a nerd, all that kind of stuff. And I own that today. I wear that badge proudly. Yes, I am nerdy. I still like to learn, but guess what that has done? That has taught me how to research. You understand what I'm saying? So all of these things we have to start looking at and own proudly those things that somebody else may look at as negative. I want you to get out of the box. I want you to walk in your success, to be strong, confident, beautiful, just like you are. And not only be those things, but see yourself for who you are. I want to encourage you today that that love that you need first starts within yourself. If you can love you, if you can be true to you, then you don't have to worry about who is or isn't, because you won't allow them to put you back in the box. This is what it's all about. Making sure that you're not put in that box. Making sure that you're not allowing somebody to keep you in a box or put you in a place that you don't want to be in. And I also wanted to, I had took some notes. So I want to make sure that I cover everything that I wanted to cover. And just to make sure we're on the same page. So these are labels. So somebody has labeled you as whatever. Like one of the labels, it's this young lady I used to work with, and people didn't necessarily agree with her all the time because they consider her aggressive in her tone. But I've come to know that it's not that she was aggressive. She just wasn't letting you put her where you thought she should be. Because in working in corporate America, I've learned that as a woman, there are a lot of times that a man will think that he automatically, because he's a man, has superiority over you. I don't care if you are the chief financial officer. You are a female, so you're automatically beneath me. So just because somebody labels you as aggressive doesn't necessarily mean you're aggressive. They just may not like the fact that you don't hold back and you tell them what they need to know and call them on their crap. So again, it's about you knowing you and knowing the truth about you and within you. So like a lot of times when people are hurt by something that Jackie, may have done, I have to check myself, because I know that 9 times out of 10 when I've done something to somebody, it's not with malicious intent. So if you're hurt or offended by what I've done, it's not on me. You know what I mean? Because I didn't do it to be malicious. I didn't do it to be mean or hurtful. So that means you need to check with yourself and see why is it that you feel offended by what Jackie did. Because if you know Jackie, and that's one of the things that I've always appreciated about people that know me. They say, I know you, and I know you didn't do that with ill intent. I know you didn't do that maliciously. So just shake it off and just keep moving, because clearly they don't know you and they don't know your heart. So that's important to me as well. Just making sure I know myself and surrounding myself with people that truly know me. Because if you allow the wrong people to come in your circle, they can spew the wrong things in your spirit. And then you'll begin to tell yourself certain things that'll get you back behind that box and being insecure with a lot of things that you're doing. So make sure that you think about these things as you go through the rest of the week, and that you realize that you deserve better, that you're beautiful, and that anything or anyone that wants to put you back in that box, that wants to make you insecure, we have to smash it down. We're breaking the walls on the boxes this year. I know last year, 2020, was a rough year, but we're breaking those boxes. We're breaking those walls, because we're coming out and we're not going to be insecure anymore. The insecurity is gone. It's about the confidence. But let me tell you this, because sometimes tricks can come. Everything is a process. I may be good today, but then something happens to trigger, and now I'm back behind the box. Do the work. Get from behind the box again. Get from behind that wall. So what I'm saying is, don't beat yourself up if you end up falling back into your old way of doing things, falling back to your old self. Don't worry about it. It happens to everybody. There are times you may find yourself back in that box, but I just want to encourage you that you deserve better, that you can get from behind that box, to change the labels that you've placed on yourself and your situation and your circumstance, because you are beautifully and wonderfully made, and I love you.